fit in this room to help adapt, because we see that the last 30 years it was about EQ. Before it was IQ, because we needed to process information in your head. And you had a computer to do the processing, and then you had to relate to your teams, and that was EQ. Now we're getting into very fast transformations with famine, plague, war happening every decade, and people having to adapt. And I think this is the decade of the AQ, adaptability, which is pretty much the future. And how can we leverage technologies like Slido for question and answers and collaboration, and collaborate also between Club of Budapest with Basel and the group in Switzerland and the group in UN, and start making bridges also with Singularity University, with Asia, so that we collaborate to do this transition of adaptability that this generation is going to have to face this decade.
Thank you. Mario, yes? Mario. Fiona, go ahead.
You can solve it with BQ, breath intelligence. You can download that booklet from my website. Why it is so important, the BQ? Because it makes us to honor life. When we really understand what life means and how we honor life, everything is possible. All the other cues are possible. So I think it's very important to break free from limitation that had limited us to be who we really meant to be. Because of fear, because of anger, because of many things that as emotion, human being, we are allowed to have all the emotion, but we should not be in stagnation there. And how we learn to ride the spiral of emotion. So we really go into the emotional well-being, because it's a dynamic. And once I accept what is my bright side and what's my shadow, and not be scared of the shadow, and not be scared of the conflict that these two sides of my personality create, but work on them consciously, so I'm not going to have problem with his shadow. Because in our bright side, like today you have listened to us, and together, all these people here, in our bright side, we're ready to make a new organization, something. We're happy, we want to work together. And we start the journey. And then the shadow gonna come out, which is normal, it's our humanity. If we're not prepared to deal with that shadow in that personal level, then we will not be prepared to deal with it in a relationship of two or in a group like this. Even when all of us individually will be quite extraordinary. For that, I encourage you all. Remember, the psyche is the biggest organ we have. Please, don't leave your psyche behind. Work with yourself in your emotional well-being. Then from that, our breath also through the exercise and through understanding will be liberated. Then everything else will be easier to learn. We still will have a long way to go, but it's going to be much more possible and easier.
Thank you, Fiona. Anybody else want to respond? And that can also be you. Peter.
Yeah. With VQ, what do you think? What is VQ? It is we working together to change the modus of collaboration, and we all together, it's the whole mankind, it's the planet. This big we, this two kinds of we is the meaning behind VQ for FIQ. Do we lost anything? Do we lost the I? No. The I comes much richer on this way, on this level. We have to change to go out of competition, but competition is a very limited concept and a very destroying concept. And collaboration is a win-win collaboration. And I had the pleasure and the opportunity to read the manuscript of this book before it appeared, a few days only before. But I think this is really the right basis to come to this kind of from the WICU Institute with its WICU concept. We need to come into to the level of building a network of the best networks around the world. And this is also one of the fantastic messages of this book. And thanks, Ervin, that you and the team created this book. This book is, in my opinion, really the basis to come to this next level of collaboration, what we need in the world, to bring all the good individuals and all the good organizations and good concepts and the good thinkings now together, to go also in this field out of the modus of competition.
And this book you mean
competition makes us stupid, collaboration makes us ready for creating and shaping the future.
And maybe one aspect, because you asked also for technology and Singularity University and many other networks, it's very interesting what we are capable of, and not, like, again, not technology as an end to itself, but as a means to an end. And it's great, again, taking this comparison to biological systems. We are now, with the technology we have, capable of being a superorganism, in a way. Like, superorganisms are, like, for instance, social insects. They are not just individuals that are having some intelligence, but as a superorganism having some kind of collective conscience and intelligence. And now we are human beings who have individual intelligence, but also collective intelligence. And now technology can help us to cross boundaries and cross, basically, distances, and allow us to be at the same time in some format. That is the technological and, again, the rational end. And then this allows us maybe to get closer together on this subconscious way of forming this collective Gaia conscience that we want to reach. So technology can help us and can be an accelerator and mediator to bring people together in a way that was never possible before. And that is something we should also include more, to reach out to people all across the globe, to really make this a massive movement and a massive transition between.
Thank you. And on the 18th of June, the World Unity Week is starting, an 8-day journey online. And there I'm hoping that we will continue this conversation as well, to speak further and to connect and spread. So Mario, that will also bring us, I have no doubt, to Brazil. Ervin, you wanted to say something?
I find what is going on today here incredibly encouraging, very, very positive and hopeful. We want to raise the question, can we, with the spirit that is evolving here, communicate so that it makes an impact on the world? We need to spread the spirit, the we spirit, the collaboration, and the new world. The new perspective, the new paradigm, the transformation. We want to make an impact. Now, for impact, we need a level of unity. If we each work separately and hide our connections to the others, we'll do some impact, just much reduced. If you could point out what we do in each of us, not without being dictated by others, entirely freely, creatively, but how does it hang together? How does it make a part of the larger whole? We could make an impact. I think the key element is to change this thinking from I am here, you are over there, this is my country, this is my company, etc., to the we thinking. Yes, absolutely. But some of these projects that you are showing is exactly what I hope for, what is my hope for the world. Think of humanity as one collective system, and we are spokesmen for that system. How to become articulate so that we are heard, we must be heard. So it's up to you. I'm willing to offer to all I can, to the fellow Budapest, to the Laszlo Institute, to further what you are doing under the heading of something that is joint, under the we heading. Yes. think if we think of how to do that, we can provide publishing outreach, we can provide symposia, and many things that are being developed now, including the upstream movement, in which we can place all these things as elements of a larger whole, which helps humanity to transform itself, to live on this planet, to live in harmony with all life. Okay? Look at that perspective. In that perspective, what you are doing is essential. But make it impactful. The impact means that we join clearly together. We are part of an organism, of an organization that is being born here. That has been born already, so we follow it. But it's a chance. It's now the time to rechat, to rewind, to relaunch. And we can do that. So the Laszlo Institute, so the movement that we're trying to launch for upstream, bring hope, positive impetus into the world. We can find resonance for this in many people, but let's express it in such a way that it becomes evident. Count on us, and from Budapest, in Hungary, count on the Laszlo Institute as people who will help you to put this forward in an impactful way, just to present it. You decide what it is, but we have to present it in such a way that people understand, this is another facet, this is something new, this is an additional thing, just what we want to do. I had this feeling when you are presenting this afternoon, yes, of course, that's what I would like to do. That's what I hope for being done in the world. And you are articulating it. Let's articulate it in a way that people sit up and listen. Young people especially. That's when the transformation occurs. When people start feeling, thinking, having this new mindset in their head. So thank you very much. This I think, a key element for creating really an impactful movement. Faster than anything could hope for otherwise. Because that's where people react to. That's where the resonance lies. The new feeling, new thinking, new unconditional love for a coherent world in which we can all live and thrive on this planet. You can do this, you are the architects. Let's do it together.
Sorry, what I think is the closing remark because...
That's beautiful, Professor Laszlo. This is Ted Mark from the United States, and I want to thank you so much for this beautiful conference. Sorry to get a little late. I wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. I wanted to tell everyone that we should, as psychics, we should be entering into the higher dimensions by August, September. And hi, hello, this is Ted Mark calling in from the United States, and I want to wish Professor Laszlo a happy birthday. And sorry I got in late, I had some trouble getting in on Zoom. But by this fall, August, September, we should be in the higher dimensions. And collaboration that we desire and the oneness will become should become self-evident.
So thank you, Ervin, for your closing words, and thank you all who are here. And I thank you, Maria, and I can hand back the mic to you that have been guiding us so beautifully today. Would you like to say something else?
I would like to thank you that you are here, and I am very, very happy, because I started my work at the university in the first book, and was the Ervin book, and he is my research father, and so thank you, and thank you again, and I am very, very happy that I could give for you something, and I am very, very happy that you are active and you can give for us more some very talent. Thank you again.
Thank you, Janos, for this organization, for this idea. Thank you for carrying this.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Marie, for presenting the Club of Budapest International. And let's get everybody together for the commons and the common cause.
Thank you. Thank you for your ongoing inspiration. And Maria, please come. Let me say thank you to you as well, and also to Ervin and all the team behind the scenes that is always here, and also our translators. So thank you all, and Nora, exactly. Is she still outside? And one big applause for Ervin. Always there. So here we all are. Well, thank you all, and we'll continue the journey. It's really great. And like I said, next week, World Unity Week, and ongoing September Peace Week, we have to just show up, don't we? Thank you all. Be well, and see you next time.